Well, the current president gave his farewell address today, and it was pretty similar to a lot of the things that we saw, a lot of the talking points from the last few years, talking about the stock market, how unemployment reached a record low before the shutdown recession threw everything out of whack. And if we look at the chart here, it's really, I give it an F, I guess, an F for failure, because if you see the debt here, he ran up $8 trillion in debt in 4 years, whereas the previous president ran up 10 trillion in 8 years. So that makes the current president, the one that's leaving, would have been about 16 trillion if he would have had 2 terms, according to if it would have been the same, from the first term to the second term. Right, so of course, if you run up enough debt, you can make the economy look pretty good. You can even pump up the stock market with a lot of that freshly printed Fed money. Now, if you look at the list of accomplishments, you're probably going to see the construction of the wall there. But it's looking more and more like the wall may have been meant to keep people in instead of keep people out. Once this system collapses, and I've said this before, once this collapses, once it's allowed to implode, the U.S. is going to be one of the most dangerous places in the world, in my opinion. The only reason why you're not seeing even more elevated crime right now is because all of the assistance programs. Imagine if the close to 6 million people that are behind on their rents and their mortgages suddenly become homeless, and you're likely to see your city transform into a whole different type of world. And the U.S. is going to be looking like a third world country. It's already looking like a third world country in many areas. Right, going to downtown L.A., parts of Portland, parts of Seattle, and it's already looking like a war zone and tents galore with tent cities. Now, we also see that this president ended his term here, his first term, at the 100 million out of the U.S. labor force, right? So there was also the same type of a number manipulation when calculating the unemployment. There wasn't any transparency. No light was shined on how deceptive these unemployment numbers are, how deceptive these economic numbers are in general. Right? When you print enough money, and when it goes out into the economy, when it's lent out via the banks, when banks are deregulated, therefore they can lend more and more and more, put more people into debt, of course that's going to make the economy look better. That's not an accomplishment, right? So the Fed, the central banks, they got more power under this last administration versus any other president in history, but yet the talking points, it was just the opposite. The talking points were power to the people, America first. We're looking out for the middle class. It was some of the biggest deception that I've seen in my lifetime. But yet there was still this huge following of just rampant, crazed people that supported the agenda. But I guess if you like to see the billionaires gain more wealth versus any other time in history, and if you'd like to see poverty now surging, more people on the verge of homelessness, more people living paycheck to paycheck versus any other time in history, then I guess it's a good agenda if those are good things to you. Now, if you're in the top 10%, you're probably especially happy. And if you're like a lot of us here on this channel and myself, we try to ride the bull, try to find places to invest that's going to help us try to stay afloat, right, in this crazy economic system. When you see inflation, you need to put your money to work for you. And if you get into the right asset at the right time, you can profit from this, and you can do pretty good, if you're paying attention, if you know what's going on. The next time there's a housing downturn, there's going to be a big opportunity for those of us that waited, that do have cash on the sidelines. Over the past few years, digital assets have been some of the biggest gainers. There were a lot of people that bought the dip on the stock market, or people that just stayed long in the stock market for the past 5 or 10 years and actually gained pretty well. 401ks are pumped up once again. House values are pumped up once again. But what we try to stress here on this channel is you need to take profits, right? When something is up in value, when something doubles, triples, quadruples, by all means, take some profit. I see so many people that say never sell because prices are going higher. Well, it's my estimate that prices are not going to go higher forever. There's going to be a big change of the guard, so to speak, coming up very, very soon. Now, in one of our previous videos that I put out, I was reading through some of the comments and I saw more than one person asking, hey, when is this system going to change? When is there going to be deflation? All right. Now think about how we've said the market was going to be propped up until at least November. Well, of course, we're past November. And I think now within 6 months, you're going to see major, major deflation. Now, why do I say that? Because we are going to undergo a massive, massive economic transformation. Right now, unfortunately, it's something that I can't get into more detail here because too many people will get bent out of shape. But from my estimates, my research, and what I know here, and what I continue to learn, is that we're going to see massive, massive, systematic economic transformations occur within the next 6 months. All right, now think about everything we've been right about. The market propping, the stock market. We said the housing bubble is not going to pop. They're only going to make it bigger. Everything we've been right about. Back in December, I began warning you on serious social issues that are going to be unfolding. And look at what we saw happen at the Capitol back on January 6th. Look at all of the craziness that's unfolding here. The next 6 months, it's going to get even crazier. Even crazier. Stay tuned. I know what you're saying is, wow, JJ, that sounds too insane. How can it get crazier than it already is? Let me tell you, you have not seen anything yet. Just wait, because you're going to be in for some major jaw-dropping surprises very, very soon. And when I say I can't talk about it here, I mean anywhere you go on the internet, they're tracking whatever you do. And there's still a lot of people trapped in this false left versus right paradigm, and it makes it very difficult to try to stay active online, if you know what I mean. All right, but what I would say and what I can say is I shouldn't say recommend. What I'm doing is I'm accumulating more silver. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds insane. Silver is going to play a role in the monetary system. And I know a lot of you out there are saying that's impossible. It'll never happen. We've been right about just about everything. And if you think I'm wrong now, stick around and come back and make fun of me in 6 months if you're going to end up being right. But I think you're going to see us right once again. Major transformations, jaw-dropping. You will not believe what's going to happen in the next 6 months. This country is going to change bigly. And link down below, ST Bullion, that's where I recommend it. Yes, it helps the channel if you use that link, but you don't have to use that link. Go to your pawn shop, go to your coin dealer. I'm getting as much silver as I can. And if you're up in an investment and you haven't taken profits to get some hard assets, I highly recommend it because inflation, deflation, either way, this transformation is going to see a big, big role in precious metals, and especially silver. Okay, you think I'm wrong? Let me know down below, and then we'll see you in 6 months and see who's right. Thanks everybody for watching this report. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared. Bye for now. Peace.